Well, hi everyone. It is John C Morley here, serial entrepreneur. It is great to be with you guys tonight, and just finished some baking, which is why I'm hitting this a little late tonight. But I always promise to get these out to you before my head hits the pillow, and that is always my promise to you. I want to thank you, whether you're here at 5 minutes to midnight, 5 minutes to noon, 3 a.m., 3 p.m., 6 a.m., 6 p.m., potato. Thank you so much for being here. We start on a Saturday with a new master topic. We roll all the way through the weekend. We finish up on a Friday, which is going to be later today. But we have a great guest coming in actually in just a few hours. Actually, 9 o'clock this morning is this morning we'll be doing our show. And, sometimes we do it in the morning, sometimes we do it at night. It just kind of varies. We just kind of do it whenever it's convenient for us. I have a great guest. His name is Daniel Packard. And he talks about a very interesting thing, which we're going to learn about, which is anxiety. And, we're talking a lot about jobs. And I think there's anxiety in people trying to find people's jobs and things like that. I think that's definitely a thing that is very, very important. So he'll be coming up a little later, actually at 9 o'clock Eastern this morning. So you can catch that on December 1st. And then the podcast will be out, of course, a day later. So I do want to thank you for being here. Let's get into our master topic. The master topic, we've been talking about something very interesting. And tonight is career alchemy. Dreams, transforming dreams into reality. We're on series 2, which means we're in the second year, show 48, episode number 6. All right. So what are we talking about tonight? Well, we're talking about to prepare for the interview. Now, you might be asking me, John, how do you prepare? It's a good question. How do you prepare for a job interview? Well, we talked about all the different stages, right, that you could go through and how you could prepare and do all kind of things. So first thing, you have to examine the job description. That's very important. You have to do your prep work. We talked about that. Why are you interviewing? And what are your qualifications? What makes you stand out from everyone else? Do some research on the company, the role, and the person that you're being interviewed by, if you can. And remember, we talked about reading the description very, very carefully. And consider your answers to common interview questions. So while you won't be able to predict every question you'll be asked in an interview, there are a few common questions you can plan answers for. So the common one is, why do you want to work here? Well, I love the opportunity to be part of this company because I want to make a difference and grow my skills to help as many people in the company as well as clients coming to your company. Finding a company with an environment that's going to help me grow in my skills and allow me to align with management and customers and clients and different leaders is something I believe that I will be very good at. What interests you about this role? Employers ask this all the time. So you can figure something you want to answer, but, be honest about what you're answering. So that's very important. Are you passionate about this? I'm passionate about working for a company that not only does biomedical, but also is using AI to further enhance, drug research. And I saw you guys do a lot of that on your website. What are your greatest strengths? You can name what they are. I find it rewarding when I get a chance to have a challenge and I get to explore all the resources to be able to solve that challenge. What are your challenges? What are the challenges that what you maybe need to work on? Practice your speaking voice and body language. Prepare thoughtful questions. It could be something like, what does a typical day look like for a person in the position that I'm applying for? Why do you enjoy working here? What got you involved in human resources, or what got you involved in this company? I've enjoyed learning more about this opportunity. What are the next steps in the hiring process if I'm selected? Just like public speaking you practice for, you should conduct a mock interview. Print hard copies of your resume. Prepare your travel arrangements. So make sure you don't show up late. You want to maybe do a drive through the night before to make sure everything is smooth. But what are the top interview questions being asked? What do you think that is? If I had to ask you that question, you might be saying, John, I don't know. Well, it's good to prepare, right? So the top interview questions right now, there are 10 common interview questions. One is, could you tell me about yourself and describe your background in brief? How did you hear about our position? What type of work environment do you prefer? Uh, in a group? On your own? How do you deal with pressure or stressful situations? This is a position that has a lot of deadlines. And how will you handle that? Then they ask you another question, which is similar to the one before. Do you prefer working independently or on a team? When you have to juggle multiple projects, how do you keep yourself organized so that you can always make sure that you're, you know, keeping your heart to the pulse? What did you do in the last year to enhance your knowledge to become better in your field? Are you applying for other jobs? From your resume, it seems you took a gap for 2 years. Would you share with us why you took that gap? It could be something as simple as, well, I graduated and then I held a job and then I left because I actually got an opportunity that was probably once in a lifetime. I got a chance to work and volunteer for the Peace Corps. And because I'm so interested in helping others and also in being an engineer and a civil engineer, I thought this would be a great thing for my resume. And I'm hoping that, this 2 year hiatus that I took doesn't, make you disregard me because I learned an awful lot by working with the Peace Corps. Please come back and say to you, the Peace Corps, huh? Yeah, I was able to help about 500 people, 250 kids, and actually helped engineer a bridge. And then we actually worked on a mini aqueduct so we could get water brought to their village. So that's the kind of stuff they want to hear. They want to know why there was a gap. And it wasn't like, hey, you just decided, like you just didn't want to do anything, right? So I think a lot of times people, don't treat the interview with respect. They just don't. And it's not because the person is bad or anything like that. It's just, they just don't. Why should we hire you? Um, Tell me about a time in your past that you worked on something very hard. Unfortunately, you failed. What was that like, and what learning experience can you share with us about that? What's your management style? What makes you unique? Sell me this pen. Now, this is a very great one because if you're going for a sales position, um, it's not a trick question. You can use an opportunity to close a meeting on a high note in one of two ways. There could be something very brief, um, like when they say to you, "Well, is there anything else we should know about you?" Take that as a positive. But with selling your pen, you're interviewing for a sales job. Your interviewer might put you on the spot to sell them a pen sitting on the table, or a legal pad, or a water bottle, or something. And the thing they're testing you for is how you handle high pressure situations. So try to stay calm and confident and use your body language and make eye contact. Remember to have conversations. Like typically, I have this pen here. So I might say something like, so Joseph, thank you so much for coming in today. Do you use pens in your office? I do. Um, do you write with one every day? I do. And how do you like the pen that you have right now? Oh, I like it very much. It's just that it's broken. Oh, well, this pen here that you can see actually has a 3-year warranty. It comes with 2 sets of ink, both black and blue. It has an eraser on the top. Okay. And it can be monogrammed with your initials on it. And the thing about this pen is that this pen is one that's going to empower you to, whether you're signing checks or whether you're authorizing a document or whether you're taking notes, it's going to give you a sense of entitlement. Now, I know you probably think that a pen can't do this, but just go ahead and try this pen and tell me what that feels like. Is that a cool pen? Why don't you write your name with it? How did that feel? Great. Can you see how the blue ink writes? Now take a look at this other pen which has the black ink and load that. Which color do you like more, the black or the blue? Oh, the blue. Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's blue. Blue is a very, very nice color. And you'll notice that when you click this pen, it doesn't make any noise. I know I used to be in college, and my roommate always used to be click, 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 click. Well, you could click this all day long, and no one will ever hear you clicking. And the best part is, if you take one of these pens with us today, you get the 3-year warranty. You get 40% off the second pen. So my only question to you is, um, would you like to have it monogrammed in silver or in gold? Gold. Either way, they took the pen. So you get the idea, right? So sell me a pen is a very popular one. Do you have any questions for us? And that's a common one. Do you have any questions for us? Um, Maybe there's some things that they might ask you, like they might say, "Gee, this position is a remote position, but we do want you to come in the office at least once a month. What do you consider to be your weakness? Why are you leaving your current job? What's your salary requirements right now? What type of work environment do you prefer? What are you passionate about? What motivates you? Do you consider yourself successful? And why or why not? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? What are your career aspirations? What's your dream job? When can you start? Are you willing to relocate? How many tennis balls can you fit into a limousine? What? You heard me. 1,000, 10,000, 100,000? Seriously. Well, you might be getting asked this brain teaser question like this, especially in quantitative jobs. But remember that the interviewer doesn't necessarily want an exact number. They want to make sure that you understand what's being asked of you and that you can set in motion a systematic or logical way to respond. So take a breath and start thinking through the math. Yes, it's okay to ask for pen and paper. Um, so, they basically they want to make sure that you can understand how many. So 100,000 would be an awful lot, right? Okay. 10,000 would be way out of whack. Okay. 1,000, depending on how big the limousine is, would make more sense. If you were an animal, which one would you want to be and why? Another one might be so if you were to start tomorrow, what's more important to you? The location of your office, the people you work with, or the amount of autonomy you get? And when they ask these questions, it's really cool because you get to explore what's going on. And you might say, gee, John, why are they asking me these questions? Well, they're asking these questions because they want to make sure you can think on your feet. Now, you might say to me, John, well, I don't know the answer to that. Well, they don't care if you know the answer. All they care about is that you have the resilience and the resources to be able to figure out how to get the answer. Nobody cares that which chip is faster or what the voltage is of every single chip in every circuit. You can always look that up, but it's very important that you understand how to look it up and that you can confirm it. So when we talk about preparing for your interview, I know you might get a little bit, let's say, worried about this, but what are the tips to preparing for an interview? What are the tips? Well, first of all, take a deep breath. Okay. Um, Realize that they're just trying to get to know you. Okay. Some people will interview you remotely. Some will be a phone or video interview. Some will be a group interview. Um, Make sure you practice. Prepare answers to common questions, as we said before. Remain professional from start to finish. Get there early because if you're on time, you're late. So be at least 10 or 15 minutes early and just wait and dress to impress. Okay. You only get one chance to make a first impression. Make sure your shoes are polished, they're to the nines, that you look great. Um, some places they wear a tie, at least wear a jacket and a shirt. But maybe that culture doesn't do ties, which is okay. But remain professional, okay? Cordial. Do some research on it, okay? You want to go beyond the typical smart attire, and you want to make sure that your clothes say success, okay? Prepare for small talk. Focus on the interviewing environment, such as commenting on the design of the office, the location. Have a few things in your back pocket and be positive during the conversation. Use calming techniques, like you could use the heart brain method or any other method you want, just taking some breaths so that you're not, inundated with the environment. What should I bring? Well, a printed copy of a resume, a list of references, some work samples and publications to show the employer, a list of questions to ask the employer, and a notebook and pen to take notes. It's important that you build rapport with that interviewer immediately. Be authentic, don't lie. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, when you get out of that interview, write a short email and say, hey, dear Mrs. Johnson, thank you so much for taking the time to meet with me today. It was a pleasure learning more about the company, the opportunity, and I look forward to hopefully hearing from you soon because I know that I can help your company take the products you have to the next level. This can make you stand out, okay? And what should you do when you can't answer an interview question? Well, you can ask them to rephrase it. You can say that that's not something you've done before, but always end on a positive note. This is very, very key, ladies and gentlemen. So preparing for your interview is not hard, but I don't want you to think that you can just shove it into, a closet and say, hey, I'm going to do this. You've got to practice, okay? And if you don't take the interview seriously, okay, then they're not going to take you seriously. You want to ace the interview, but you don't want to have an arrogant attitude either. Okay. If you're good at something, you can tell them you're good at it. But when you're good at it, don't be arrogant. Okay. Dig into the company's mission, their promises and goals and roadmaps. If the future is fuzzy to those interviewing, it might be a red flag to the interviewer. If you're unprepared for the interview, that's also a red flag. If you're unprepared for interview, you're probably going to be unprepared for work. If you're an informed candidate, you should move through interview process faster than a good company that really wants you should find ways to remove hurdles and bottlenecks that may cause you to decline in an offer. So what to do after the interview? As we said, you want to follow up. We talked about that. Say thank you in a personal way. This is not where you send them donuts or you send them a gift. You just send them a thank you. And you could do this via an email is perfectly fine. But a lot of people think that, this job, you owe me this job. No, they don't owe you anything. You have to realize that they're trying to figure out who is the best person for this position. That's what it comes down to. And I know interviews sometimes can be stressful. I know also that you could go there and you might feel they're wasting your time. It's okay when you go out there to say, "Hey, I want to thank you for the opportunity. Are you looking for any other?" Yes, I am. I have 4 of the positions that I'm interviewing with, and I'm going to be making a selection of who I'm going with by next Friday. Now, if they say, "Oh, well, we won't know for 2 weeks," okay, well, I'm going to make a decision before that, but I do thank you for your time. And if they really want you, they're going to figure a way to get you an answer sooner. Hey guys, I'm John C Morley, serial entrepreneur. I want to thank you so much for being here tonight, this morning, on Friday here, and I want to let you know what I do. So I'm John C Morley. I'm a serial entrepreneur, a podcast host, and a podcast coach, and specialist in helping businesses tell a story that leads to them growing and being more scalable and, of course, profitable. I typically work with companies that bring in 10 million or more. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen, I'm great at helping people find their story and share that story with the world, so people can get curious and eventually want to do business with them. So, ladies and gentlemen, I do want to thank you so much for being here with me. And remember, do click on the QR code by scanning it, or go to believemeachieve.com. Click on the PayPal link, make the choice, buy my team and a cup of coffee, a bowl of fruit, or a scrumptious bowl of desserts. Either way, we'll be grateful. Those pennies and dollars will invest into new hardware, new technology, new equipment, new software, even new facilities to give you the most jaw-dropping motivational content to empower you to have an amazing life. All right, guys, check out all my great content at believemeachieve.com. And be sure to tune in tomorrow at 9 a.m. for Daniel Packard, where we're going to be unpacking the stress or the things that you go through when you're on a job. So the anxiety. We're talking about anxiety on the job and anxiety in the life. And I think you're really going to appreciate it. So definitely come back tomorrow, actually later today. And I know you will really like that. So have yourself a great rest of the morning. And I'll catch you soon, everyone. Be well.